Hey guys, Mr. Danish here. Today we're going to learn how to make a good-looking desert. I've made an example, and this is what we're going to learn today, more or less. Or, well, I'll give you some hints, and then you can make your own desert if you need it. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so what you want to do is, when you're in the Terrains tab, select the brush size to be huge, and then select the terrain to be desert, and then paint where you want your desert to be. And when you're done with that, go select the brush size to be tiny again, and then go to this one called elevation. The key to making a good looking desert is to think realistically. I mean, desert probably wouldn't look like this in real life. I've never been to a desert, but I've seen pictures and such, and well, I haven't seen a completely flat desert before. So therefore there must be hills, and well, of course there might be some dry parts that can be flat and such. Just remember to think realistically, and it will come all by itself. So what you want to do is take all these elevations and just paint around, like make a area like this, and then the standard elevation for the whole entire map is elevation 2, so don't use that one. That won't do anything unless you click on another area you have used another elevation on. And so elevation 3 like this, and then you can sort of build your hills by going one step up each time. But remember to make it, you know, not exactly the same everywhere, otherwise it won't look good. And we can perhaps do like this and go down again a little, and you can also make smaller hills. They don't all have to be this big. You can also make a huge one, like by choosing elevation 7. But remember to make it go down in steps, otherwise it won't look that pretty, in my opinion, but it's up to you. And if you experience this, there's not enough desert, just paint over, and you won't there we go. Sometimes you can get some really good results if you override what you've already done and then try to go back to what it was before, and sometimes you can get much better results that way. But you can also end up destroying your work, so be careful. Let's see. That's here. As you can see, it's a lot of you know, just playing around with it, and at some point it will come and look really good. Let's do this. Alright, I think we need something over here. I'll start this time. Okay, now when everything looks good, more or less, I could use a lot more time on it, but I'm not going to. Go to your terrains, and then what I did was select dirt 1, and then I knew when I started designing that I would like a dry spot where there was some water and stuff, so therefore I painted the area where you would most likely find water in dirt terrain, and added a little lake or pond, and then I just drew around like this, not too much, of course, it has to look realistic, and anyways, it starts to look good in my opinion. You can also try with some green spots like dirt 3 somewhere, even though that doesn't always look very nice, but you can try and mix. It's something that takes time, but I'll just keep it dirt 1, sorry. And you can also use dirt 2. That's really good. No, not grass 2, I meant dirt 2. Where is it? There we go. It's really dried out and stuff. That goes really well with desert and dirt 1 terrain. But again, I'll just keep it dirt 1. And if you want to include a lake, I recommend using shallow water, because, well, deep water, that just looks stupid. It's way too dark, and it doesn't make sense to find very deep water in the middle of the desert. So shallow water, and then you can add some trees and Gaia objects as well. But don't I don't recommend using you know, jungle or palm trees or whatever they're called. Palm desert, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I don't recommend using that because you will easily override your stuff. So go to the Units tab and select Player to be Gaia, and go to the Others tab, and then simply find the one called Palm Trees. You can use your keyboard to type in a letter, and then it will go to whatever you typed on, and then just place them like this, and so you don't risk overriding everything. And if you feel like it, you can place some out in the desert. There might be some, but for instance, that would look good. And but it's not, in my opinion, it's not all trees who work well, like in the middle of the desert. I'd never use this one in the middle of the desert, for instance. That's more, you know, oasis-like, I think, more suitable for an oasis. But never mind. Whoops, wrong one. What I did in my example, I added a rock, for instance, and I added some rocks. I don't recommend putting them out in the middle of the desert, really, because you know, where would they come from? So again, you have to think realistically. But and I added some plants because that would probably be really nice and green near an oasis like this in the middle of the desert. So yeah, I placed, oh, it's a building called Yurt or something. It's with a Y, and I used this one, and I chose player 1, so it's not Gaia. And I added a man in front of the house as well. But it's up to you what you want to include in your desert. And another thing I did was to add some, you know, what are they called? Broken cards. So around, you know, close to each other, and then I added some skeletons to, you know, make an illusion of a caravan or whatever they're called getting raided or something. It's up to you, and just use your imagination, and you will find out stuff, figure out stuff. Anyways, I think we're about done, and well, we just need to delete those ugly things. And I also added those kind of cactuses because I could imagine finding those in real life if I went out in a desert. So just add some of those if you feel like it, of course. Again, this is just an inspiration and some hints on how to do this. It's not, you know, you don't have to do it this way. And for instance, that doesn't look very nice, but so I just delete it and maybe move it. This one, whoops, tricky mouse. And yeah, okay, never mind. If I was more serious, I would use a lot of time on it, but it's up to you. And if you feel like it, you could add some green spots, you know, green dirt 2 or dirt 3. And yeah, I would probably, if you are going from desert to grass, I would probably use dirt 2 or 3 in the, you know, outskirts, like, and mix it by clicking a little. Probably dirt 3 is better. Like a transition to but again, that's completely up to you. It's your scenario, and I'm just trying to give you some inspiration and some tips. But yes, that's it for now, I guess. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something and that you can use this for your scenarios. And please comment, rate, and subscribe. And yes, that's it for now. Take care, guys. See ya.